You got to pay your dues if you're going to play the blues, and you know it don't come easy. And if you don't play like there's no tomorrow, there'll be a tomorrow, but you were afraid to make today worth the time of your life. And that's what it's about. It's about the time of your life. So I'm trying to have the time of my life every time. It's great to have somebody that's Spanish here with me, because he understands what the man of La Mancha really is. He understands that I am the man of La Mancha. I am, what's his name, Cervantes, yeah? Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that you're Pablo, what's his name? Sanchez. Sancho. You're not Sancho. You're not my Sancho. I'm the man of La Mancha that's fighting against windmills, because I'm an artist and I'm trying to reach for the unreachable star. Trying to fight with my last ounce of courage to beat the unbeatable foe, and that is the ego that keeps you from going beyond yourself, because you're afraid you could make a little mistake or something. Oh boy, I have to be careful and whatever, you know. And Philip Jones said to me, you can't always play like this. Philip Jones, the great Philip Jones of London, England. He said, you can't always just play like this, Richard. Sometimes you have to play like that. I said, you know, that's why you are more interested in being the richest man in the world, and I'm interested in making music. I'm interested in making music, not being rich. This is my studio, this is where I live, this is my life. And at the end of this coming year, I might never play the trumpet again, and I will be fulfilled of having done it. Because it's about the moment that you can give 100% whatever you do in life. If you're not willing to give 100%, you have no right to claim that your life was worth the gift that you've been given. You must do it 100%, and then find out that you can really do 110% if you forget your ego. Now, I'm pretty gruff with Danny, and I hope that he still wants to play music with me after today. But he knows that for me, it's about life and death. Every time I do this, every time I play pieces like this, Hindemann Sonata, whatever, it's about life and death. Because I really believe that music is really the highest art form that man has ever imagined. There's nothing higher than it, because it reaches to the depths of your emotion and imagination beyond any limits. You can't paint a picture that somehow represents something like that unless you're maybe Vincent van Gogh, but he was a little bit crazy. Or Pablo Casals' name, he was a cellist. Pablo Picasso, who wrote, painted pictures of ex-wives with 3 or 4 different faces. I wonder what he was trying to tell us there. But here's the whole point, is that music is the expression of the depths of your emotion. And if you're not willing and prepared to go that extra 9 yards, to forget yourself, to run it up the gut like you're playing, simple ground football, for the Americans that know what I'm talking about, or Aussie rules, everything you got, no pads, no bullshit like the Americans do that, even Canadian football. And I don't mean soccer either, where everybody's dancing around, oh, no, great, here, look at my six-pack, yeah, okay, Ronaldo, get out of my face. I'd rather see Messi play, short little guy, or Pele, or who's that little guy that had legs as long as his arms? He was from Argentina.
Football player.
Yeah. Maradona, that was a guy. It was a guy that, just couldn't stop. And no one could stop him because of that. If you love sport, which I don't, I like to do sport so I don't get too fat and lazy. It's good for my heart and whatever. I don't like to compete. That's why it's not for me. Sport is sort of academic. I like to go jogging but alone. I like to go ride a bicycle but alone. I like to swim but alone. I like to, I'm basically a loner that way. But music I love to do with somebody who is also willing to go that extra 9 yards, who wants to actually tell me the story of it all. So now we're going to play Parsifal last time. The preview, you know where it is? You know what I'm talking about, Parsifal? Premier mouvement. Yeah. Six fiddle, piano. And Danny and I are going to try it one more time, right? Or do we want to do it from here, Dan? I love this place. This is where D'Artagnan pulls out his sword and says, this is it. Ready? We already did the ending. This is the dramaticism of music that can only be done if you're willing to take the chance that you might play a mistake. Now, Danny and I both know where we made mistakes, or where it wasn't together, or where it's a little bit out of tune, or where the rhythm wasn't perfect, or whatever. Maybe embouchure wasn't speaking because I played a lot yesterday, preparing for other things that we'll never get to. But that's not important. Important is that we tried our best at that moment. And if we play it again, it's going to get even better. And each time it gets better. Because we're doing our best each time. And that's the discipline. You have to try it again and again and again and again and again. And then sometime it gets so easy that you're not even thinking about it. And that 99% that you're bringing is much more than somebody else's 200%, if you want to compare it. But comparisons are not important. Not even to your past. I've got some recordings that I did in the 80s that I can play so much easier and lighter and whatever, and lyrical and whatever. Doesn't mean that I'm then, I'm now. I've got to do it now, you know? And now I do it with him in a certain special way. Music is a wonderful, wonderful communicative device to have people reach and look into their own souls and compare also the feelings of their souls and the meaning of their existence. There is no other art that is that intensive and that ethereal, that esoteric. Of course, we're making exoteric noises. Stupid trumpet, piece of pipe, you know, banging hammers against rods of metal. But still, it's amazing. So I'd like to end this little discussion here right now about UNESCO and stop. I think I've said enough. I would like to have played more, but I think I'm just going to have to wait until today's my girlfriend's birthday. Been with her 5 years. She's not here. She's not here. She's not here because she is not capable of dealing with the intensity of my personality. And damn it all, I cannot be any less than I am just because she cannot understand who I am. It's not her fault because she can't understand it. But I can't cut off my nose because she doesn't like my face. And I'm certainly not going to cut off my balls. So I don't know what men are usually doing with women, but I just say, listen, either you want to come to me or not. If you don't want, fine. And I'm going to be going back to Canada, and they say in English, you don't have to take sand with you when you go to the beach. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be buying a boat on the west coast of Canada, maybe on Vancouver Island, maybe in the Queen Charlotte's, what they call Hawaii Guy or whatever, it's an Indian word. Those islands up there, and a tree house in some area of land where no human being has ever been before, in northern part of British Columbia or even Alberta. I'm not quite sure. Maybe the Yukon. I'm not sure. It's going to be cold as hell in winter. But that's what you got a boat for. So you can go down the coast of the United States, down to Baja, and maybe even through, who knows, maybe down to the Galapagos. That'd be cool. You know, life goes on, and it doesn't have to be only about the trumpet. But damn it, I'm going to make the trumpet worth whatever it is for me. I've got 100,000 euro in trumpets here, and if you want to pan through here a little bit, you can see what I'm about. Everything's gold-plated, silver-plated, handmade, triggers and whatever, the best of this and the best of that, and you know, it's just a means to an end. It's just a paintbrush. You can paint a picture, but if you have no, I've got to get away from Germany first of all, because the people here just do not remember what it is to live their lives with abandon and to live their lives with intensity and joy and emotion, because they're too busy quantifying. They're too busy trying to compete with each other and the world. I say forget competing and enjoy your life and its fullest intensity. Because you only got one chance. I mean, okay, when you practice here again and again, you have a few more chances. But in the end, your life, you only got one life. If you think you're going to live forever, or when you die, you're going to be whatever, you know, that's great for you. I'm going to be living here and now, 100%. See what happens afterwards. But if you don't live 100% now, how do you think you're going to live 100% later? I mean, it's only logical. Right, Dan?
Yeah.
So, Danny, tell me about what's your mother's name? Maria.
Belen.
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 Yeah.
And your dad? Turn over to Francisco.
Yeah.
Just like your second name.
Like my first.
Oh, your first name.
Yeah.
Your name is Francisco.
Francisco Daniel. Yeah.
And your whole name?
Delgado Garcia.
Yeah.
Well, many names. Yeah.
What's this Garcia stuff?
Garcia is the first surname of my mother.
Oh, okay, so that's why my second name is Carson also, because that's the surname of my mother.
Yeah.
Interesting tradition.
Yeah.
I'm the only one in the family that's like that. My whole family. Roberta and Geraldine Louise and Leslie, they don't have my mother's name as their second name. My second name is my mother's name. And she's right there with the red hair behind you, in the middle. I think she's about 22 in that picture or whatever. So tell me a little bit more about your family, Dan. Come on.
Well, they were both born in Castilla y León. This is a region, center, north.
Where El Cid was born.
Yeah. And, well, I'm the only musician in my family. They had some background for arts, but none of them were professionally dedicated to arts. My mother was a teacher, my father was a typographer.
Ah.
Yeah.
Lithography?
Typographer, so like, yeah, what Gutenberg invented. And, yeah, and yeah, my family is quite big. I mean, my father is the third youngest from 12.
Okay, big family, 12 children.
I have many cousins that have children older than me and so on. Yeah, but all of them belong there too.
Well, I only have a very small family. I've got 3 children from 4 different women. Well, actually 4 children from 4 different women. My son, I have good contact with. This one, Sean, he's 8 years old in this picture. It was taken picture, I was 19, in 2003 by Ina E. Brush. And she was in the park there. It's a similar picture of that one there.